Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Forrester, Taylor tells Ridge she has heart failure and is dying. Ridge informs her that's insolvable. She knows it's a shock. Ridge declares that it's not true. She's sorry she didn't want him to find out like this. Ridge tries to get him mind around it as he realizes that's why she came home. Taylor reiterates that her heart is failing. Ridge asks about her resuming her practice. Taylor was just saying that to cover. Ridge thinks this is going to be fine. Taylor says it's not. Her condition is progressive and will only get worse. I don't have long to live. In the main office, Steffy tells Brook her collab with JJ will boost the collection. Deals and internet business is all tracking up. Brook tells her they've a lot in common. They both want Forrester to be successful, and they both love her father. She thinks it would mean so much to Ridge to see them getting on. Steffy points out she just congratulated her work on the bedroom line. She adds that there's someone differently who loves her father just as important as they do, and who'll always be part of his life, my mama. In the design office, Katie addresses to Will about working at Forrester. He's still trying to get effects settled with Academy. Katie wants him back in LA, but only if it's stylish for him. He thinks she needs someone there to look out for her. His mama clucks that he doesn't need to do that. Will replies, I suppose I do. Katie finds this sweet, but she'd no way ask him to alter his life for her. Will wants to be there for her. Katie repeats that it's not necessary, especially where his father's concerned. Will asks if she's thinking about being with him again. Katie takes a work call, and also disconnects. Will asks again if she's thinking about getting back with his pater. Katie doesn't know what the future holds, but they're drawn to the idea of reuniting their family. Will doesn't need that. Katie says Bill hurt her extensively, I'm not sure I can do it again. Will says his father will always say he loves her and she's his world, but he no way follows through on it. He doesn't want that pain for her. Don't go back to him for me. In the main office, Brook knows Taylor and Ridge have a special bond and an amazing family. It's not news to her. They both agree it's great that Steffy's mama is back in city, but Ridge's life and his future are with her. Steffy's all for people doing what they want, but they can't forget that her father will always love and watch about her mama. In the salon, Ridge asks Taylor how she set up out about her condition. Taylor had casket pains, irregular twinkle, and fatigue. She allowed. It was just stress, but when it got worse, she reached out to the croaker. As soon as she set up out, she came home. Don't tell anyone, she pleads. I don't want Steffy to know that I'm dying. Ridge argues with her, their kiddies are grown-ups and can handle it. Taylor doesn't want them to have to handle it, she didn't indeed want him to know. She needs him to admire her wishes. Ridge can't forget what happened moment. Taylor asks him to trust her to know what she needs. She asks him to promise he wouldn't tell Thomas or Steffy. Ridge says, okay. He learns that Taylor has spoken to Lee, and says they need to set up some meetings for her. Taylor says there's no way around this opinion. In the design office, Katie wants to stop talking about Bill. She asks what Will thinks about being a Forrester intern. He thinks it could be cool. She thinks it could be an amazing occasion for him. Katie tells her son they shoot each over the world, but an externship there would be a great place to start. She continues her pitch until he teases, you're really pushing for this, aren't you? He thinks it would be a chance to see her more. Katie wants to see him thrive. Will's not sure fashion is his gig. Katie asks him to keep an open mind. Working at Forrester could change his life. In the main office, Brook asks why it's so hard for Steffy to believe she wants her family to be happy. Not that long ago. She and Taylor were musketeers. Steffy points out she doesn't love having her around her father. Brook's not bothered at all. Taylor came back because she misses Steffy and the children. This is where Taylor needs to be right now. In the salon, Ridge accuses Taylor of being bearish. Taylor is sick and won't get better. She wants to enjoy her life with her family while she can. Ridge demurs that they've the stylish croakers and hospitals there. He's frustrated that she hasn't made an appointment with a cardiologist. Taylor says these aren't his opinions. Ridge hollers that there if she can't make the right bones. He complains that his father wanted to do the exact same thing. He tells her he won't tell Steffy if she agrees to go to the sanitarium and get some treatment. Her family needs her. I need you. Taylor runs into his arms and he tells her how important she's to him. I'm not going to lose you, okay? Taylor cries. Taylor Hayes will yield now that Ridge Forrester has shown her his vulnerable side. Ridge displayed some strong feelings after Taylor confessed her opinion, but he's not ready to just sit back and accept that she's fading down. With that in mind, Ridge has promised to keep quiet about Taylor's condition, but he expects her to do commodity for him in return. Taylor doesn't see what good another croaker will do, but Ridge will hold out stopgap that an alternate opinion might be a game changer. Lee Finnegan offered up a list of implicit cardiologists for Taylor, so Dr. Grace Buckingham was presumably one of them. Grace is Paris and Zoe's mama, but she's also a reputed cardiologist who has served as Katie Logan's croaker in the history. Now Cassandra Creech is set to duplication her part as Dr. Grace Buckingham for an critical appointment with Taylor. Ridge may contend this is an exigency and push for Taylor's appointment to be ASAP. Luckily, Dr. Buckingham will be suitable to squeeze Taylor in her busy schedule, so Taylor will give updates on her symptoms with Ridge by her side. It won't be long until Grace orders some tests for Taylor, who'll await the results laterally this week. Some stunning news is coming up for Taylor, but let's talk about Will Spencer's future in the meantime. Katie just wrapped up another pitch and expedients of getting Will on board for an externship at Forrester Creations, so he's starting to see the benefits. Although Will wasn't sure fashion was really his thing, he can tell this means a lot to Katie and will ultimately decide he's all in. The coming step will be satisfying Steffy Forrester that Forrester Creations is truly where Will wants to be. Will's going to make a pitch of his own soon and then Steffy on Forrester being where he belongs, so stick with us for further prognostications on his coming chapter. Taylor Hayes came back to Los Angeles to spend whatever time she has left with her family. Taylor wants to bond with Steffy Forrester and the grandkids while she still can. Still, we can't help but feel like there's a striking allusion then. Thomas Forrester is being shut out of Taylor's illness story, so we've to ask, is B&B wrong to leave her son in Paris? Of course, Taylor formerly spent some time off-screen with Thomas, Douglas Forrester and Paris Buckingham in France. It's good that the show offered that explanation rather of making it look like Taylor ignored Thomas and Douglas entirely. Indeed so, it seems illegal to only have Steffy and her children on oil for this plot. Taylor and Ridge Forrester's family includes Thomas as well as Douglas, so it feels weird for them to be missing now. So far, Taylor's plan is to cherish as numerous moments as she can with Steffy, Kelly Spencer, Hayes Forrester Finnegan and indeed Ridge if she's being honest with herself. It'd be better if Taylor would come clean to the grown-ups involved then, but at least she's reconnecting with the people she loves. When Steffy looks back on this time with Taylor, she'll still be glad she had it, indeed if she didn't know the end was near. Thomas, on the other hand, is off living overseas and is missing out on what could be Taylor's final months or times. Now that Taylor has settled in Los Angeles again, Thomas doesn't have the same chance to make recollections like Steffy does. Naturally, B&B could amend that at some point, especially if Thomas latterly becomes privy to Taylor's secret and rushes home with Douglas. For now, Thomas is in the dark while precious moments with his mama slip through his fritters. Prognostications point to Thomas feeling hurt once the verity is exposed, so we'll bring you updates on the fallout of Taylor's sad news down the road. Taylor will do her stylish to keep hiding her heart failure, but there'll inescapably be some mistakes along the way.